Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Jo Salmons. I'm an artist and I'm a professional art doll maker, and every week I make something new, not always a doll, and I show you my artistic process. This week I'll be showing you how I made my little vampire girl Ellenie, and don't forget to stay tuned until the end of the video to see her photos and hear her backstory. Now without further ado, let's get started. I start off this time by making the hands. I cut wire for the fingers, then use the hand template I drew to help me get the fingers the right size. As I've said previously, I do not enjoy trying to sculpt tiny thin fingers, so I make mine out of paper mache. Then I sculpt the rest of the hand from air dry clay. I use this stuff to get the round tips to the fingers. It's 3D paint or glue, 3D effect stuff. I'm not quite sure what it is, but it does the trick. Because it's such a thin layer of air dry clay on the hands, I'm not convinced that it won't crack off. So I cover the whole hand in a layer of glue and tissue paper once the clay has dried. This seals everything up and makes it a lot stronger. Once the hand has been primed and painted white using artist spray paint, I begin to shade the contours with chalk pastels and add details with acrylic paint and watercolour pencils. The hand is then varnished with 2 coats of varnish, firstly a spray varnish and then a liquid varnish to seal the colours and protect. Next I make the arm using wire. I attach the hand to the arm by wrapping the wire around it. Then use duct tape to cover the wire and cover all the spiky bits. Now I move on to making the doll's body. I make a twisted wire rod for the body. This gives the body added strength and allows the head to be bent up or down very slightly. I wrap the rod in wadding and insert it into the fabric body, then stuff with hollow fibre. I wrap a large wooden bead in wadding and place it at the bottom of the torso. This stops the bottom of the torso being squidged and flattened when I attach the legs. Next I make the legs out of wire. When I've done this, I make the boots from air dry clay. When the boots are completely dry and sanded, I drill a hole in them and attach them to the wire legs with very strong glue. I then start making the blue velvet boots. I cut out the pieces I need and then pretend to be a cobbler. I insert the eyelets for the laces, which makes the camera jump and shake. I then set about gluing the different parts onto the foot. I start with the tongue, then the piece that covers the toe. Then I realised that I had jumped the gun and got ahead of myself. I should have finished the leg before starting the boot. You would think after all the dolls I've made that this would just come naturally and that I would know what I was doing automatically, but alas, my ADHD likes to pop up with a little bit of sabotage just to keep me on my toes. Excellent. So I wrap the wire in wadding and make the fabric leg. The wrapped wire is inserted into the fabric and stitched up. Sorted. Now to continue with the boots. I sew up the two side parts of the boot. I then iron the seam flat. And stick them to the doll's foot. I lace up the boots with ribbons. Before I can attach the sole, I have to make sure that the bottom of the foot is flush, so I fill the indented part in with card. I use corrugated foam for the soles of the boots. I then attach a red trim to hide any scruffy bits. And the boots are done. I use button joints to attach the legs. If you know me, you know I love a bit of tulle, so I make her a tulle underskirt. I then start making her skirt. I cut out the fabric to the right size and then attach cream lace to the bottom of the skirt and add a scalloped red trim. The skirt is then sewn onto the doll's body. This blue fabric is bulletproof. It was so hard getting the needle through it. I then finish making the arms by covering in wadding before inserting into the fabric. They are then attached to the body. I want this doll to have poofy sleeves because I love poofy sleeves. So I have a rough idea of how they should be made from previous dolls that I've made and from looking at different patterns on the internet. I sew them onto the doll and decorate with cream lace. I make a decorative panel and carefully glue this onto the front of the body. I then attach gathered lace around the waist and the neck. Now for my favourite bit, sculpting the face. I build up the face bit by bit with air dry clay. I really love sculpting faces. I find it really therapeutic. It's one of my favourite things to do, apart from when it's frustrating, when I can't get the nose right or the lips right or the clay's all weird and yucky. And it's not so much fun, but most of the time it's really lovely. I really enjoy it. I use the ends of cocktail sticks for the fangs, as I have neither the patience, dexterity or eyesight for sculpting such tiny little fangs. Never know exactly how my little faces are going to turn out, so I never know who they're going to be until the end. When I've finished sculpting, I pop out the temporary eyes, ready for sanding. Once sanded, I wipe over with a damp cloth. The face then has another quick blast in the oven on a very low heat before being primed and painted. I paint her eyes green while the primer is drying. I use acrylic paints for her eyes and lips. Then I use a fine tip Sharpie to draw some swirls around her eyes. Can you imagine me trying to paint these on with paint and a fine brush? No, not with my clumsy hands, nope. I shade the contours of her face with chalk pastels. Face is sewn onto the body and I start to glue the hair on. 2 or 3 hair wefts are glued straight onto the clay face and the rest are sewn onto the cloth part of the head. I put her hair into pigtails after trying about a million hairstyles that didn't work out. I was really annoyed about this because I wanted a fancy hairstyle, but nope. I add a red bow and a necklace to make her look fancy pants, and then start to make a Robin Hood style hat. I decorate the hat with a flower and some red trim and attach it to her head with pins. I later decided that I wasn't quite happy with her face and she needed eyeliner and eyelashes. And she is done. Here she is, the finished vampire doll, Ellenie. Now, if you know me, you know that I have a bit of an obsession with vampires, and my favourite dolls to make are actually vampire dolls. You may have seen my other video where I made a beautiful vampire and her ornate coffin. If you haven't seen that, go and have a look. Well, this week, my obsession went to a whole new level when I found the Interview with a Vampire series. I watched all that within a few days, and then that wasn't quite enough. So then I had to start listening to the Vampire Chronicles audio books, and I got to Queen of the Damned with that. And then I watched the Interview with a Vampire film, and then I watched Blade, and I'm also listening to Bram Stoker's Dracula audiobook too. So yeah, when I get obsessed with something, I get really obsessed with it. And this week, the whole vampire thing went a bit mental. I just love making vampires, and I wanted to make one this time that was kind of inspired by Claudia, but I think she's got a real creepy face. I think Claudia would look a lot prettier and sort of more innocent than she does. Well, maybe not when she's like coming for your throat. Who knows? But this one's got a really creepy face. Tell me what you think of her in the comments down below. Right then, let's have a look at her photos and I will read you her backstory. In a quaint, dimly lit village nestled in the heart of the countryside, a mysterious child named Ellenie captivated the townsfolk with her pale complexion and hauntingly beautiful green eyes. Whispers of her strange behaviour and uncanny ability to appear and disappear at will spread like wildfire among the villagers. Where does she come from? Where are her parents? People would ask each other. As dusk descended upon the village, strange occurrences began to unfold. Pets went missing, and livestock were found drained of blood, and a sense of unease settled over the once peaceful community. Rumours swirled that Ellenie was no ordinary child, but a vampire who preyed on the unsuspecting souls of the village. Parents warned their children to stay indoors after dark, and crosses adorned doorways in an attempt to ward off evil. One fateful night, a brave villager ventured into the abandoned mansion where Ellenie was said to dwell. What he discovered chilled him to the core. Ellenie, with fangs bared and eyes ablaze, feasting on the lifeblood of a hapless victim. The village erupted into chaos as fear and panic gripped its inhabitants. Once innocent child named Ellenie had revealed her true nature as a creature of darkness, leaving behind a tale of terror in her wake. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this week's video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe and like and hit the notification bell and all that stuff. And for all the people that have subscribed, thank you so much. It absolutely means the world to me. It makes all this hard work worthwhile. Thank you so much. If you want to see any of my other work, then head over to Facebook, TikTok and Instagram. All the links are down below. If you want to buy any of my dolls, then visit my online shop and the link to that is down below. And if you want to see me in a magazine, then you can purchase Dolls magazine because I'm in it this month. Look, I'm on the front cover of Dolls magazine. I'm so happy. I literally couldn't believe it when I got an email asking if I wanted to be in Dolls magazine. I was like, yeah, I do. Thanks, yes. So please grab a copy if you want to have a look at my interview and my photos of some of my dolls. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you again next week. Thank you. Bye-bye.